Happy Tuesday, Jana.
Hello, my friend. How are we?
I'm good. How are you?
Listen, I have had a very exciting week because I don't know if you've noticed. I'm going to stand up for anyone that's watching this on YouTube. I got a new job, guys.
Sonia Morgan's intern.
That's
Okay.
right.
Congratulations. How
Thank
did you
you
get the
so
job?
much. Well, I went to see her in Melbourne, here in Australia. She's doing a Sonia by Night experience.
Okay.
And I went and did the VIP meet and greet. And you know what? It was just like the cutest thing. I was meant to go with a Bravo loving friend and she couldn't go at the last minute. So I just brought my brother because I just
Oh,
knew
it's so
I
cute.
need I was like, I need someone that's not going to like be complaining about standing in a line and, like if I just brought a random friend that doesn't know anything about Bravo, like you could just see that they would have no interest in, but they'd be like, what is this? And my brother, like, is down for a good time, and he's like the perfect kind of like he acts like your boyfriend in a way. He's like, do you want me to hold your coat? Should I go and get drinks? Because I know you don't want to miss anything. Just like an absolute gentleman. He made my night. Um, but so we went there and like instantly in the line, just like at BravoCon, you're with your people and everybody's like so excited and
Right.
talking about what's coming up. And so I got to meet her and I took some pictures with her and we had a quick little chat about the show, the upcoming show. And then it was her performance. So she did, um, I mean, I have to say it was kind of like I don't know, a 2 minute um, dance, if that's the right word. It's kind of like her doing a few kind of like yoga moves on a chair. The effort was noticeable. Um, and it was a little bit RuPaul's Drag Race. They had some pit crew, in the tiny little budgie smugglers, and they had, some amazing drag performances. But she was amazing. She did some, Q&As, and she screamed at people in the audience if they were videoing her during the tea spilling, and she actually screamed for a lady in green to be thrown out. And from what I hear, she was doing that in all the cities in Australia. She's like, "This is what you've been told. Security, get her out." So if I think about like what the hot takes were, there weren't like people were asking the most boring, dumb questions. I asked her a question because I went from the meet and greet right to the center of the stage, and I had like the best position in the room, right? I was like literally, you know, centimeters from her. And she came up to me and she goes, I remember you from the meet and greet. And she held my hands. And I was like, Sonia, I've got a question. And she's like, okay. And I said, would you ever disclose if you've hooked up with any Bravo celebrities? And she was like, I absolutely have not and will never. And I tell all the young people, you don't shit where you eat. This is your job. Treat it like a job. Don't fuck the people you work with. And I was
Can
like,
I say that? I said
wow,
that to you last week.
you did. You did. Maybe she was listening and she got the advice from there. Because I guess her castmates don't count. If you think about, like, there were lots of questions about Harry Dubin and
Right.
Tom. And she sort of hinted that she still hears from Tom. He's engaged again, but that he, you know, is still kind of around. And she seems to have a problem with Dorinda. She was really kind of
Oh,
like
really?
shitting on Dorinda a lot.
Hmm.
So I think some stuff goes down at on the new show.
Oh, that's right.
And
Because Dorinda's not on as like a full-time cast member. She's like a friend of, but I believe that
yeah,
the whole thing ends with her or something like that.
yeah, yeah. It sounded like anytime there was like a question about like a shady question about casting or whatever, it was always like Dorinda, Dorinda, or like not like Dorinda. So I don't know. Maybe she's also like Dorinda's kind of doing some other things. I don't know. Maybe she's not keen. And she basically said at the end of the day, the only reason all of the OGs couldn't get it together in terms of a Bravo show was just about money. And she said they absolutely don't want to pay the OGs the money that we were getting $1 million an episode, and they don't want to give it to us anymore, and they just want to give these young people basically a fraction of that. And so they got rid of us all, and it just literally came down to money. And she said the reason she came in late one of the early seasons, I don't remember her coming in late, but I'd have to go back and do a rewatch. But she said it was again about money, that they didn't want to pay her what she wanted. And then she finally got what she wanted and she joined back with the cast. So, all in all, it was really fun. Like, it was so exciting. She looks unbelievable, and her skin is so soft. And she's like I held her hand and her arm and touched her leg, when we were having our meet and greet chat because she was sitting. And she looks, and she doesn't look, those facelift people that where it looks just so kind of scary and pulled. She just looks exactly like herself, but fully like her skin looks unbelievable. I don't know what her secret is. So that was a really, really, really fun night.
I don't think she has a secret. Hasn't she done everything?
Yeah, but
So
she
isn't that the
looks.
secret?
But you know what I mean? I can see, sure, there's Botox, like she's missing, she doesn't have some lines on her forehead, but it's like the texture of her skin, even me at 44, I'm noticing like the changes in my skin and I don't look as youthful and refreshed. And, she just looked incredible without looking fake.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not like the Tamra or the Vicky, she just looked exactly like herself, but a really gorgeous version. She was
Well, that
amazing.
sounds like
So
a
much
very
fun.
fun evening. I'm glad you got to do it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you. A little bit of up close and personal in the Bravo world.
Yeah, I love that. I love these meet and greets. I'll be doing one
Yeah.
with Austin Kroll in a couple of months. So I'll
I
definitely have
love
to be telling you
him.
how that goes because I know how much you love your Southern
Yes,
charm.
I
Um,
do.
but can you believe that Real Housewives of Rhode Island is almost over? We had our finale
No.
episode and then we're gonna have a two-part
Yeah.
reunion.
Okay. Interesting. Now, I think, I mean, we'll get into Rhode Island, but, if you really kind of drill down, I don't think there was enough for there to be 3 episodes
I agree.
for the reunion. Like, there was really only the ruler Brian story and then a little bit of like interrelational fighting that wasn't very serious,
Right,
you know?
exactly. Exactly. I agree.
As great as it was, but there's not so much. Although the only thing that really could like heat things up is what they really know about each other and what they're really prepared to bring, to
Right.
camera.
Exactly. Well, I always
Yeah.
love a reunion, so I'm excited about that. But before we get into the Real Housewives of Rhode Island reunion, there are some summer house updates because there always
Mm-hmm.
are. Like, I guess
Yes.
Lindsay has just been really enjoying Threads lately because she's been spending a lot of time on Threads. Actually, before that, there was the In the City reunion. It filmed the other day. I don't know if you saw this. There was this picture of Kyle and Amanda coming out of, I guess, the reunion set. And it was a People exclusive, and they were like smiling and laughing, and people were pissed. They're like,
Yeah.
wait, was this all like a hoax? Like, what's going on here? And then Kyle, in very Kyle fashion, does like a video, right? And he explains,
Yeah.
like, no, you guys, like, we had like a really tough reunion, but it was a good day. It was, good conversation. And then as we were leaving, Amanda and I were saying to each other, how funny would it be if there was like a photographer coming right as we're leaving this building and we're like laughing together or something like that? And that's why they were laughing, because as soon as the doors opened, there was a photographer taking a picture and they started laughing. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
whatever. And then Yvonne from In the City and Lindsay were both like in the comments in Threads saying things like, oh, like it was a really good day. We had lunch after and we made fun of Kyle for finally getting some after 4 years because apparently him and Sally have like done it now. So that's that. I mean, it looks like Amanda wore different hair to that reunion because her hair was
Mm.
down. So that's a
I
good
wonder if she
thing.
washed it this time.
But even if they were smiling and laughing together, I mean, I think Kyle is always going to have a relationship with Amanda. Maybe not forever, but at least for now, he seems to still be speaking with her. So I don't feel like it's that weird. But then like Lindsay went
Yeah.
ham today. I have to like read you some of these threads. She like was really just having a time. So she starts with Couple of things. One, Wes Wilson, you are trash, trying to get people to not watch our show. Okay, wait. So let me step back a minute. So on Wes' podcast, he made this comment about like he didn't want the Knicks to win. Sorry, I don't know sports. Hang on a second. He
Yeah.
doesn't want them to win on like Sunday or something like that because he wanted there to be another game on Tuesday so that people would watch that game instead of the aftermath episode of Summer House.
Mm.
And so that's what she's referring to. So she said,
Yeah.
couple of tings. Okay. Number one, Wes Wilson, you are trash, trying to get people to not watch our show that I brought you on. You should move immediately. Two, I haven't seen Tuesday's Aftermath episode, but I feel it in my bones. It is good. Even though we know some people didn't listen, still good. Three, In the City is just heating up. We are halfway done, and holy shit, what a roller coaster of a season. Four, our In the City reunion was so good, we might have two parts. Five, I'm on Carl's podcast on Tuesday. Sleep well, team. Luke for Congress. And then this morning, she had some more thoughts. She was like, good morning. Hope everyone slept well last night. I know I did. Woke up with some more thoughts if anyone cares. Number one, maybe Wes Wilson should go on his podcast and publicly apologize to me for using my daughter as clickbait and a decoy to distract from his secret relationship with Amanda instead of talking shit on his show he was so fortunate for me to put him on. Number two, Wes has tried to threaten my career / show now 3 times, and it's quite frankly disgusting. No other words to describe it. First, when he went on a podcast after I had Gemma and told everyone there's no way I could come back on Summer House, we should have known then. He's not smart, but here we are. Then, with his diabolical decision-making skills to manipulate Amanda into dating him and threaten the status of our friend group and future of the show. And now, trying to get people to not watch Tuesday's episode that he participated in, by the way. So that's the kind of dude he is, in case anyone still has questions. So she got a little bit of blowback for this because when she was saying that like he manipulated Amanda into dating him, people were like, okay, she's an adult. She has her own agency. So she said a little more. So she goes, I'm on an airplane at the moment. Otherwise, I would post a video. But I say Wes manipulated Amanda because he is the one who initiated this fuckery. He is the one who said, hey, is it me or do we like each other? Or whatever it is this fucking hot dog smelling ass said. Yes, Amanda's a grown ass woman and makes her own big girl decisions. And yes, she needs to deal with those big girl consequences. You will see that conversation between me and her in tomorrow's Aftermath episode. Meanwhile, Wes is still out with other girls and still talking to his other girlfriends like a true fuckboy. And there were pictures
Mm.
that came out over the weekend of him and like some blonde girl in like a nicer bun. I don't know, it was like a
Yes.
nicer bun. But then pictures did come out today of West and Amanda at a bar together and she was sitting in his lap. So I guess
Mhm.
all is well in West Village.
In all is well in side chick land. I really took issue. I was one of those people that took issue with that comment from Lindsay because I feel like Lindsay and Kyle are really giving her the victim narrative. And I don't like it. You know, she was not manipulated by West. It wasn't because West said, hey, is there something between us? And she suddenly went, oh my God, wow, what a suggestion. Like, we watched her all over him the entire summer. If anything, she seemed to be more into it than he did. He
Yeah.
had a girlfriend outside. He
Wow.
had Sierra he was making out with. He had that other random girl he was making out with all in front of her on camera on the show. And she was like, look at my ass when I walk away. She was like doing the lingering hugs. She was doing like, I just don't think it's right to say that she was manipulated and that be her excuse for this behavior. You know,
Yeah.
it does not at all to me feel like this is a poor little girl who's just been like coerced into a terrible situation and we all just need to give her the grace and empathy to move forward. Like, I'm sorry if that sounds really harsh, but I don't like it. She is a
No, she's an
fully
adult.
grown adult who knows what she is doing. And she has made so many speeches about how much Sierra means to her and how important she is and how she needs to be seen. And the race conversation came up and she was by her side and, like saying, I see all of the things. and has not taken 1 ounce of accountability for any of that. And that is
Hmm.
not because she's been manipulated into a conversation, it's because she actually doesn't give a fuck.
I think that was so incredibly clear. Like, even when Mia was trying to push Amanda to see if there was more there, to see if, like, okay, was one of the reasons you were holding off was because you thought you were going to hurt Sierra, or was this just about you trying to figure out if he was really with Miha or not? And she
Mm,
never said that this was about Sierra. Like, that was never one of her major concerns in all of this.
yeah.
But then again, I like that you're saying that, and that's sort of a point I was thinking of too, because we're putting way too much accountability just on Wes. This is just as much on Amanda. She had she has like the, what's the word? Like, ability, wherewithal, accountability to be like, no, sir, when he approached you and said, like, hey, is there something here? You have the agency. The agency is the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
You have the agency to say, hey, this is a bad idea, which is exactly what Sierra said. She was like, when he approached you about it, you should have been like, oh my God, that would be like the worst thing I could do to my friend. Right. And as you say, you didn't have any of these feelings before, right? They only
Yeah.
came to you in that one moment. So let's say that's true. All right. So they all come down to you in that one moment. Well, great. Then you can shoo them away just as easily, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like you've been feeling them for months and months and months and months or
Totally.
anything like that. That
Mm-hmm.
would be crazy. I don't know. And
Yes.
I know why Lindsay's doing that, because like Amanda's been in her life for 10 years. It's a lot easier for her to just shit on West, who's been in their life for a couple of years. Plus, she brought him into this, right? So I feel like she has to do a little extra to be like,
Yeah.
move West to the left, to the left. And it's just like,
Yeah.
but I love when these Bravo Labs are doing too much in the moments when they can, because we're loving Lindsay
Mm-hmm.
Hubbard right now, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay's like, I'm gonna thread all day, every day with all of my thoughts, and we're like, go, Mother Hubbard, go.
Yes, totally, totally. And I think if you think about West not returning, right? This
So
is a
that was the other
job.
news that came out today. West is not returning to season
Oh,
11.
sorry. I thought you'd mentioned it, but maybe we
I
talked
had
about
not
it off air.
mentioned it,
Sorry.
but TMZ, yes, came out with that news today that West is not returning for season 11.
Yeah. And so, what all of this to me ties into is the bottom line is this is a job. They are all employed by the same people. They have contracts and obligations, and then they have agreed to film a show about their lives. Granted, that doesn't mean you have to give them access to every single thought you ever have in your mind. However, to show up at the reunion the way that they did, and I know this has been discussed to death, but to show up on whatever they were on or with a, clear decision to just sit back and say nothing. And then to go on your podcast, West, and, talk and talk and talk,
So
and really
disrespectful.
disparaging kind of the show and trying to dismiss everything and encouraging people not to watch it. It would be the same thing as me having a job and going public about how shit I think it is and I don't really do my job and everyone in my office can see I'm not really doing my job and then I'm going somewhere and talking about it
They're
and
having a
doing a
sale on
better
Tuesday, but
job
don't go to the
somewhere else.
sale.
Don't go to the sale. Like you are going to get fired. So like entertainment aside, you're not doing your job. You don't deserve to be there. And if we really drill down on what Wes Wilson has brought to the show, like what have we really seen about him? He was silent last season or the season before, like didn't say a word. He doesn't perform in reunions. Has messy behavior, but most of it is off camera and between seasons. So like he actually hasn't fulfilled any part of his contractual obligations genuinely, I don't think.
I don't I don't know if the contract says they have to be interesting, but like I would say you know what I think it is though? I think historically the show has had a really hard time finding good guys. And so I feel like by comparison, he was considered good because he just fit in with the group easily. Um, I don't know, like it was trivial things, right? It was nothing major, but because the show has just had such a hard time casting men, by default, he was good. Do you know what I mean? It's just like when you
Yeah.
date a bunch of shitty guys and you date a guy who's a little less shitty and you're like, oh my God, he's the golden child, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we treated West and Jesse like the best things on earth when really they're just average, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's why it's like so much easier for everyone to like come down at him, but I completely agree with you. This is just as much Amanda's accountability. Now, in terms of him not coming back, what I think is interesting, and correct me if I'm wrong if you saw something differently somewhere, but no one has spoken about whether he's coming to In the City. Because all this means is that he hasn't gotten a
Mm.
contract for Summer House. Like, no one is fired from anything. That's not really a thing because it just means your
Yeah.
contract isn't renewed. So his contract isn't renewed for Summer House, which starts in a couple of weeks. Okay. But what about In the City? Because what I'd like to know is where Amanda's going. Because either way, if Amanda is going to be on either of these shows, wouldn't it be weird to watch her life without her boyfriend? Whether or not we want to see it, I'm just saying, on
True.
either one of these shows, how would we be watching her real life without her boyfriend there?
Mm. Great point. And as you were talking, I'm just kind of trying to imagine it. And like, do I want to see, she's proven herself to be a liar, right? And faking so much, like so much of the Summer House interviews and everything were just like her trying to put on a Paige DeSorbo skin suit and like try to like be her, like I'm married. Like nothing was landing with what she was doing. And we knew she was lying the whole time. So we're either going to get like a continued false version of her life where these people are my best friends, or she's just like balled up on the couch, like stoned and depressed. And, you know, poor her. And Lindsay's got to come over and like shake her out of it. Like, come on, Amanda, you got to leave the house. I know this has been bad. And yes, you did some shitty things, but come on, girl, got to get up. Like, do I want to watch that? I don't know. I don't know. If we could like genuinely see like the chaos that is her following West to every bar because she's worried he's going to hook up with another girl. Like, yeah, yeah, I'll come out, and getting more and more and more exhausted because she truly is, I think, an introvert who prefers not to go out, which, hard relate. I mean, I don't want to go traipsing the bars.
Absolutely
So,
not.
you know, do we want, is that like diabolical to want to watch that? I don't know. Do we even want to watch that? What do you think? Where do you see it going?
Ugh. It's weird because like it's not even about liking a character, it's about having watched these people for 10 years. And so I'm interested to see where it leads until its bitter end, right? And like I don't
Yeah.
know what that means exactly. Well, what do you think about Wes not being brought back to Summer House? Like, do you think the show is punishing him? Like, it's a very interesting decision. It's not the decision they made with Sandoval, and maybe the reason is obvious. It's not like he was on the show for 10 years and was part of its history and
Yeah.
all of that. But like, it is odd, right? Like, Bravo has historically not really done that. Just because we don't like someone, that's not really what happens. Like, are you surprised by that decision? If it is like their
Yeah. You know
decision,
what I think?
I'm
I,
sure
I
it is, but
truly think it comes down to performance. When you look at Sandoval, he was like a
always
douche,
performing.
but such a performer. And he's talking and he's sharing his feelings and he wants to be on screen and he wants to be dynamic and he wants to be funny and cool and interesting, no matter how that landed. Um, Whereas West goes on camera and shuts down and doesn't say anything. And we've seen him come back from kind of scandal in that first season after, Sierra was really upset by him with the article, and all of that. And he basically did an entire season of silence and didn't say anything and didn't do anything and just like moped around in the background trying to be a good boy. And then, we had the kind of silence at the reunion. We, you know, if I was working on this show, I would be anticipating, look, this guy, we can't rely on him for good content. He'll just sit there and like take the berating if Lindsay's still going at him and if
Hmm.
Kyle's like trying to have, how many more like conversations can they have about it when someone's like, you can't fight with someone who's not fighting back,
Good point.
you know? So
Yeah.
based on his previous performances, I'd be like, you know what? Like, let's just bring in some fun and some fire, and maybe he does some cameos on In the City if Amanda's continuing there. But to be honest, like, where does Amanda even fit in? Because who are her friends? She's not actually going to be friends with any of the cast of In the City. They're all Kyle's friends, you know?
I think because you're not living in a house, I feel like that's the only one that makes sense
Mm,
because like it's gonna be so inorganic for her to be like, I mean, I thought
yeah,
the same about Lindsay, right? I thought the year that she was coming in pregnant, I'm like, you don't even have a single friend here, right? Like, who are you
yeah,
hanging out with, right? But like they find a way. I don't know.
yeah,
Unless they
yeah.
fill the whole house with Amanda's friends, right? Like it's like Amanda and her friends are now the ones who are main cast or something like that. Like they bring in two girls for her. I doubt they do that. I don't know. I mean, there's so many options, but the fact that it's like 2 weeks away is crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait.
I
And
just,
we're still not even
yeah.
done, right? Like, like my life has been like summer house for like since
Yes.
February. And I'm like, okay, it's finally done. I can go. I took the last 2 Wednesdays off of work. I've been like really busy with this. And then they're like, one more week, the aftermath. I'm like,
I know.
because I can't even decide if I'm happy or sad because I want
I
it, but
know.
I have to go back to my life.
Totally. Totally. It's a lot. And I don't know. I hope that that episode gives us like just some more authentic responses. I don't want a single shred of like the victimhood and like Amanda
Yeah.
continuing to make this about Kyle. Like, no, this was a decision you made. Like, to your point earlier, this was not just something that happened to you. This is something you actively participated in for God knows how long, because it certainly wasn't just in February that you had a light bulb moment when West suddenly looked at you differently. Like, this, we all know. So I don't want I don't want to watch an hour of like poor me.
He's apparently going to say something in that episode, like, I've been in love with her for a long time. And I hope Kyle says, how long? Since when? Right? Like, I
Yeah.
hope to get more in that regard, but who knows with that man, right? Well, Rhode
Yes.
Island, we had our finale episode, as we said. Do you
Ah,
want to chat a bit about it?
yes. Let's do it. You
Let's
know,
do it.
there's, I mean, the big thing is obviously the Brian and Rula, how this man comes to these things. They went to Block Island as their like finale weekend.
Which is their
And
Hawaii. It's what
yes,
Ashley said. I love that. The
blowing a
Hawaii of Rhode Island.
gale. Yeah. Freezing cold, wild ocean. Um,
I love how much they love their state. I think that's adorable. I really do.
yeah, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And yeah, Jared's like big reveal at the table was
They're
how
so
much he actually
cute.
loves
I don't care
Rhode
that I'm
Island.
boring. I love Rhode
Yes.
Island. Born and raised. My kingdom
Yes.
come.
That's right, exactly. So cute. Like he's really endearing.
Yeah,
He's
he's a
just
really like good guy, you know?
yeah, he looked very unwell. I think that boat ride really wasn't good. He was like
Oh,
green, Poor guy.
I was thinking about them on a walk today, and I was thinking, wow, like Ashley really turned her life around. Like, I mean, she was so young in that chaotic time. If you think about her time on The
Mm,
Bachelor, that was probably like a decade ago. And because
wow.
I was thinking about you asking me today, do you think she should continue on the show? Because I assumed you would ask, right? I'm like, because we have the Audrey storyline, and that's about it. And Ashley has basically told us that something bad may happen one day and that may make her
Yeah.
cry, but nothing bad is really happening to her now. And so it made me think like, no, it's kind of beautiful. Take it out of a reality TV perspective for a
Yeah.
second, put it in like real world. This girl embarrassed the
Yeah.
shit out of herself and ended up finding really the love of her life, a good, solid man, has a good family,
Yeah.
2 kids, and she has no problems. And that I think is a
Yeah.
really beautiful thing. And I don't know, I'm just happy for her.
Totally.
I don't know, it's just such a rarity to see.
Yeah.
Um, to the point where we find it boring in terms of reality TV, but in the same time, it's just nice to know it exists and nice to know in the same way we talk about people like Amanda, Kyle, Lindsay, where you've been following them for a decade, you feel like, you want to see the end of their story. I feel like that's sort of the
Yeah.
same way where I'm like, oh, I'm really glad you got your happy ending, girl.
Yeah, totally. And I actually don't think they should change the cast. I think we just
Yeah.
leave it as is for another. I mean, I think we could
Maybe
do
one
without
friend of.
Dolores. Maybe a
We didn't
friend
need her.
of. No, we didn't need Dolores, and if anything, it took away from the storyline. It was like it slowed it down a little bit for me. I'm like, I don't need this. I just like there's so much heat everywhere else. Let's keep going there.
But they didn't know it was going to be that good. I mean, it made sense to bring her on. It made sense to have like a transitionary character. It's worked in other shows, but this cast was just so good. We didn't need it. We just didn't need it.
Yeah.
What did you think about the sit down with Joellen and Liz at the beach? Did you think that that was like authentic? Because to me, it was like Liz was so fired up about Joellen in the previous weeks that I was really surprised to see her just be like, all right, Joellen, let's move forward. Like, did you think that that was genuine?
No, I mean, I could feel Liz reacting to Joellen. I feel like she's got a real thing about Joellen being performative for the cameras. I think that's really what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's anything to do with anything they're really talking about.
Right.
And I think it's just like she sits there and Joellen's like, we're really good friends, right? And Liz is like, yeah, mm-hmm. And then it almost felt like halfway through the conversation, she was just like, ah, fuck it, can't be bothered anymore. Like, all right, give me a hug, it's
Yeah.
fine. But I didn't really get the sense that they had genuinely repaired anything. It did feel just a little bit like, whatever, I don't care enough. Let's move on and get out of this conversation, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I feel like Joellen was coming at it like from a place of fear. Like I want to keep. She's saying like I want to, and this I think is going to come back to bite her at the reunion in her
What?
interview when she's talking like comparing Liz to her mother and the relationship that she has with her mother, who she's kind of like declared as narcissistic and did a lot of harm to her as a child. And she's sort of saying the same thing about Liz. It's like this push pull, like my mother, and I'm, afraid. And like, so I feel like that's going to be a problem for Liz because Judy, get in on the conversation. Come on, Judy Jude. Judy Judice is here. She's got a comment. I think it's particularly about Liz. Go ahead, Judy. What do you think?
Say what you were thinking. I love you too. Okay.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
God. You
Go
have to
ahead,
be watching
Jana.
this
We're
on YouTube,
sorry.
guys. Like, please watch this on YouTube.
No, I
Judy
should
is
have
the
put her in her crate, but
sweetest.
she's being a little devil
No,
today and she just wants to
but we love
participate.
her.
She wants to bark. She wants to be a part of it all.
She's
Um,
beautiful. You
she
guys,
didn't mean to
please.
disrupt your thought.
No, no, no. She's welcome to disrupt anytime. Look at her. Hi, Judy. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I just think the rupture between Liz and Joellen is real. I think
Hmm.
Liz actually doesn't have love for her in the same way that Joellen wants her to. And I think Joellen's smart enough to know that like you got to like stay in with Liz because it's way scarier not to be. It's kind of like stay on the good side of Liz and everything will be okay.
It's almost like the Lisa Vanderpump, like a Beverly
Mm,
Hills. Like, you didn't want to be on
yeah.
her bad side. I feel like there's almost like the boss bitch of every
Yeah.
franchise in a way that you don't want to
Yeah.
cross. And that's
Yep.
Liz.
Yep. And like, I hate to make this comparison because I love Liz on the show and I really don't like the person I'm about to mention, but it's like when the new cast joins Jersey and they're like sucking up Teresa's ass and you're like, gross. I know what you're doing. And it's
Yeah.
much better to be on her good side because there's no arguing with that person because of cognitive ability.
Right.
But like
Yeah.
it just feels a little bit like that.
Well, it sort of felt like the rest of the episode was about Rula, like you said, right? Because first she's sort of telling the other women, you know, my issue with Joellen is that she keeps bringing like stuff forward. And at the end of the day, I just want her to let me deal with my own marriage, leave it alone. And she admits that's sort of why I haven't been around that much. That's why I've been sick or whatever. She figures it out with Joellen. But it was funny with Joellen continuing to be like, well, I don't want to be called a liar. And this really reminded me of Kristen Doty season 3 of Vanderpump Rules, where like she is trying to convince everyone about Miami Girl.
Oh,
And she's
yes.
she says that the reason she wants everyone to believe her about it is so that she's not being considered a liar. But everyone's like, Kristen, no one's calling you a liar. Like, what are you talking about? Right. And Joellen is so focused on that. Like, I do agree with Joellen in the sense that Rula did say, bring me some evidence. Right. So Joellen is going ahead to do that. But I don't think anyone actually called Joellen like a liar. Like, okay, Rula saying like the photos are fake, the videos are fake, yada, yada, yada. But I think she means that the mistress is making fake videos and photos. I don't think she's
Yes.
saying that Joellen is concocting anything, right? So I don't know what Joellen's game is here, but it seemed like, I mean, we don't really know because the episode ended, but like it seemed like she let it go once Rula asked her to. But like, girl, I mean, okay, I guess let's get into the whole tracking device. It did not occur to me why he was tracking her until she sort of brought it up to the ladies later and gave her reason. Because I was like, wait, is it his way of being jealous and wanting to see where she's going because like he's the one off doing sneaky shit? But no, it's more so that he wants to know when she's going to be nearby so that so
Yes.
that she doesn't catch him. That never occurred
Yes.
to me.
Never occurred to me either. And that's probably because of the work that you and I have done in this space, because usually a tracking device is more of a menacing, controlling thing where they want to know where that person is. Yeah, like same. I was like, whoa, I had not thought of it, that it's about his cheating.
Dude,
It's like
just leave
how
her. Are you kidding? You're doing this at this point?
seriously.
This is
Yeah. And, if you think about the timing, so the whole season, she's sort of trying to say or give the picture that it's over, it's in the past, it's not happening anymore. Yet he's putting the tracking device on her during or just after the season ends. So the relationship must have been
Of course it
continuing.
was. It was the whole time.
Oh,
Even Rosie
yeah.
said, like, he's embarrassed you. And he has. I mean, this is you and I, or I was saying to you this whole season, is this a joke? Like, what are they
Yeah.
doing here? Right? Like the fact that he even appears on screen, the
I
fact that like he says
know.
the stuff that he does, the fact that he looks the camera dead in the eye after he like gets a text, the fact that he admits to basically like drugging her on
Yes.
her their first date by like trying to
Yeah.
get her more intoxicated. I mean, he even admits to the photo with Gary here in this episode
Yes.
today in Lake Block, right? Is that what Block
Block
Island? Sorry, I keep wanting
Island.
to call it
Yeah.
Lake Block Island. He says to Gary, yeah, the photo that Joellen is talking about or the video, it's real, right? And Rula was
Yeah.
the one who wasn't even willing to see it to determine whether it was real or not. But he even admits it. And it's just like, thank you, I guess. But I've just
Yeah.
never seen a man with this many indiscretions come on a reality TV
I
show before. It's
know.
wild.
Intentionally. You
And
know,
they're still
yeah.
together, right?
They're still together. And like post tracking device, post everything, he was supporting her at Watch What Happens
Yeah.
Live.
I never
You
saw that
know,
episode, but you saw it, right?
yeah, like he was in front row in the audience, and Andy was even like, wow, like you could have waited backstage, but you chose to come out here. It's a tiny room, like there's nowhere to
Yeah.
hide. It's weird. The only thing I can think is that she is saying like everything you've put me through, like you are going to show up and you are going to stand up and you're not going to say anything. But like what she's failing to see, probably now that she's watched it, she will have seen, is that he actually is such a weak man. He can't even like make up a lie in, believably enough to stand up for her. Like, even if she's like, I know this is going on. We're going to deal with this privately. For now, we're contracted to do this show. So just stand beside me and be a good guy and look like you love me. In the words of
Well, do you
Amanda Batula, act like you like me. And
Well, do you think he was trying to get her to break up with him? And like, so he was trying to really embarrass her on TV? Because that's what I would have said a couple months ago. But given that they're still together, like, what's his
I
end game?
yeah, I feel like he is just a weak man. He is waiting for someone else to make the decision for him. He looks like a weak, scared little boy, and she is not letting him off the hook. And maybe that is a punishment in itself. Like the easy thing to do would be to let him go and he'll move straight
Girl.
in with the girlfriend, you know? And there'll be
Oh,
the
when the girlfriend
adjustment.
picked him up from jail and everything? Like, my God,
Yes.
because he gets arrested, he ends up spending a couple of hours in there. I don't know,
Yes.
man. Like, what do you tell your kids? What do you tell your kids?
Seriously. And that's the other
I put
thing.
it on
Like,
mom's car for what now? Right? Like,
yes.
how do you explain yourself? And when she said, I mean, I doubt he did, but when she said, like, I suggested that he go somewhere to like figure himself out or figure out why he does this, I'm sure he didn't.
Yeah. We know where he went, right?
To the
You
girlfriend's
know?
house.
Yeah. Although she said she had his location on, right? So, oh, sorry. Just something's happened to my camera there.
That's okay.
Um, she said something happened to, yeah, like she had his location on, and uh I wonder if that continued. And like, what is she just allowing to happen while she figures it all out? And how much of this is tied to money and business or pride and family?
I think a
Like,
lot of
is
it is
it?
pride and family.
Yeah,
But there comes a
yeah,
point, right? Like there
yeah.
comes like my God, Rula, like this is embarrassing.
Oh,
This is
so,
really bad.
so
I don't see
bad.
her coming back next season in any regard. Like I just
Yeah.
don't. Do you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't have gone on the show to begin with all of
Right.
this bubbling away. But, as we have always said, it takes a special kind of personality to willingly sign up for something like this and to put your life on the line, particularly in today's climate of sleuths and, Bravo fandom that unearths literally anything you have ever done or anyone around you has ever done. And like, if you didn't know that at this point, like, that's really silly. If you did know that and you took the risk anyway, and you have young children and you were going to, like, this lives on the internet forever. This is their dad. This is like, why would you willingly do that? So if she knew all of this and went on the show regardless, I would be not surprised at all if she came back. She's got a new Jennifer Aiden nose, and
I think it
like,
looks good. You
it's
don't like it?
she looks. No, I think she looks like when Jen Aiden came back from Turkey with a complete ski jump nose that was like, who are you now?
She had a bumpy nose though.
Yeah, but it was like her, her ethnicity. Like, I thought it was beautiful. She looked like, where she came from and her Lebanese background. And like, I just think
I don't
now
think
she
she's
just looks,
Lebanese.
I think she is Lebanese. Oh, well, something like that, right?
I'm
She,
cutting this
remember,
part.
no, I swear I'm going to look it up.
We
She,
can't
because
say something like that.
that was part of her Arabian Nights,
Yeah,
right?
Arabian. Yeah, she's Arabic, not Lebanese.
Ruler background. Give me 1 second. I'm
Indian?
sure they said Lebanese. Lebanese roots. Proud of her
Okay,
Lebanese roots.
my bad.
Um, however, yeah, I think yeah, it just looks like a weird, Instagram girl now, you know.
I like it.
Hmm. I think she should
Listen,
have
it only
left it.
matters if I like it.
Yeah, okay, fine. Well, then we like it.
I'm just kidding. Um, well, I'm excited for the reunion. I feel like there's lots of
Hmm.
questions that definitely you and I still have. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we need to know about Kelsey's boyfriend. We need to know about all of these rumors about Rosie from the past. There's still lots to
Hmm.
find out, but like I heard through a little birdie, and that little birdie is you, that you have kind of gotten into Love Island. What
I
has that
have.
journey
Oh
been
my
like for
God, Dana. Dana. I'm now going to have to quit everything in my life. So I'm really sorry to all my private clients that will now not be able to come and see me. You are cancelled. Take this as official notice. I can no longer do anything else except watch 800 hours of Love Island for the next, I think I've gotten through the first week. So I've got another 5 weeks of this to go. This is the first time I've ever watched Love Island. I've never hooked in before, and I am blown away. Like, it is honestly like watching softcore porn, and
It's so much
it
kissing. I
is
know.
so much. Is it always like that? Like, are they
Yeah.
always meant to make out like that with every single person they walk into a room with?
And the fact that you then in most challenges have to go like down the line and make out with one person, then
Yes.
the next and the next, that's just like you don't even have time to like clean in between. As a germaphobe, I just
No.
find it horrific.
Honestly, like it's like whoa. They just did this challenge with an enormous bed, you
Right.
know, and every girl was
That's the
put
one I'm thinking of.
into lingerie and the guys are in like tight little white briefs and they were given paint and blindfolds and they had to sexily crawl their way along the bed and feel up every guy. And I blame whoever the first girl was. None of them have to do that. They could like feel the guy, touch their face. Nope, you're not my guy. Next guy. And that would still be enough of a challenge. Like whoever decided in this series that you are going to hardcore make out and ride like you are doing soft porn, like it honestly, like I'm watching it, like we get through one couple and I'm like, Jesus Christ, they've gone through every single person. And now we got to watch every single girl and it goes for hours. I'm like, my
Also,
God.
I wonder, like, I know their production is amazing, first of all. The fact that they can turn this
Yeah.
around so quickly is amazing. But
Oh,
I'm assuming there's actually no music in real life
there's no
while
music.
they're doing this. So it's that much
Oh,
more like smacky and like gross and
yes.
like weird. No, that one was pretty gross. But what I thought was so interesting about that challenge is that the men kept saying, well, so and so is 6'5". You should have known it wasn't me. So and
Mm-hmm.
so is so tall. So and so is this. They're lying down, man. No one knows
Yeah.
how tall you are, right? No one's like, oh, that's a really long leg, right? So I thought that that was really
Yeah.
funny. And another thing I thought,
However,
yeah,
there was the guy Sincere has a slim, smaller frame. And then that
I
guy
don't think he's that
Corbin,
slim. He's
well, I
longer.
think
But
I,
if
I
you're not
think you
like
would
going down their
feel
entire body, how, like, if you're only going crotch up, which they pretty much are,
mm,
right? Then you're only really feeling torso. And like Sincere has a bun, so you're feeling the hair, right? Like for
yeah, for
sure, you
sure
can
the
feel the
hair.
hair. But the length of body to me just seems a bit weird unless you were
Yeah.
going toe to head. Because then how would you really know?
Yeah.
Unless you really
Well,
notice, like, so and so has historically had a short torso and so has historically had a long torso. I don't know, right? Like Lindsay
I just
Hubbard
think the
talking about
frame is
that.
bigger, right? Like a 5'10" guy is a
Yeah,
smaller
but you'd have to
frame than a
really think
six
about that.
four beefcake. Like he's not just like a skinny 6'4" guy. Like he is a built guy. Like he's ripped, you
I am one
know?
of those people that can't tell the difference between a Coke and a Diet Coke or a Pepsi and a whatever. So you're talking to the wrong girl. Okay. You blindfold me and you put like two
Okay,
men
we
in front
need
of
you
me.
on this show,
I
Dana.
wouldn't know any difference.
It is
The
honestly
other
just
thing I think is a
like,
really funny like theme that I've seen across the show is this concept of people talking about types and like, don't
yeah.
worry about it. That person's not my type. I may have made out with them for 10 minutes, but honey, that's not my type. Oh, that
Yes.
one is so my type. And I was just thought it was really interesting because like, what is a type? Like,
Yeah.
isn't it just a person that you're into? And just because
Yeah.
someone has historically been your type, does it mean that that's who you necessarily have to go for? So I thought that it was really interesting that people are very
Yeah.
focused on that in this show or this season.
Yeah. They seem to like have phrases, and I've never watched this before, so you tell me if this is a thing. Like obviously, can I pull you for a chat
Yes.
is what they say on this show, right?
Yes.
So I'm assuming this comes from seasons past. But it's like that type thing as well. It's like, and also lover boy. Is this am I just like an old person? Like I'm a lover
I feel like
boy.
I'm hearing it everywhere now. don't
Yes,
you?
KJ was saying it on Summer House. And I was
Right?
like, Loverboy, like, you know what show you're on, right? Like, this is
Okay.
his brand.
But then I didn't want to. Okay. So I had that thought process. And then I heard them do it on Love Island. And I had that thought process. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that where Kyle Cook got the name from? Is it a saying? Is it a word that people use? And
Oh,
it's not that Kyle made up lover boy and now we're hearing it other places and
yes.
think that they're copying that. It's that it was always a word and that's why Kyle is using
Yes.
lover boy. I think that's what makes more sense.
Yeah, like, is that what it is?
It
But
must be like a
Kyle,
term, like I'm such a lover boy, and that's where he got the phrase
but like
or
Kyle
the
is
drink.
my age. How does Kyle know? Like, so much of the language of these 20, very early, some of them are 21, 22, 23. You
So
know,
young.
they are so young. Their frontal
Could
lobes
be
have
my
not
children.
finished developing. They could literally be our children. But
So weird.
how, like, they've got an entire language of shorthand and slang that a lot of it is new to me. And they use it like so sincerely. Like, it's not even like when we were like growing up in the 80s and the 90s, it would be like rad or like, we had like sayings like that, but they use this to describe like feelings and thoughts and actions
Hmm.
in ways that it's a whole new landscape of language that I'm finding just really interesting as an older person to be observing,
Yeah.
So I think a lot of them are, really great at explaining how they're feeling. And, Anaya is somebody who can really interpret what's going on between the couples. She's almost like the mum of the cast who's like helping people work through their feelings. But a lot of the guys are doing a beautiful job of that too, of supporting each other and talking things through
I
really
love the way Casey
well.
compliments her. Ugh, they're such a
Yes.
beautiful couple.
Except, I don't know if you've seen the latest episode, but
I missed the last half hour. Why? Did something happen?
well, he was sitting down with the bombshell whose name is escaping me this second.
Soul or Jen? Okay.
Soul at the breakfast bar. And he was saying that like she was like everyone was closed. The only reason I was talking to Sincere was because everyone else was closed. And he was like, well, I definitely like was interested, and like
No.
yes.
Ugh.
And he was kind of acting differently with her, like letting her know, like basically he thought she was hot and he would have given it a go, but he wasn't sure if he was kind of allowed or like, he wasn't fully being like, I'm fully open to you, but he was letting her know that there was definitely something there. And then he has a chat with Anaya and sort of tells her about it, but it's still not like, so that was my first, oh no, like, is Casey not, I mean, he has been the most amazing beautiful support and like everything a girl could want in terms of the way he has been bringing Anaya up on how she feels and how she looks at everything and like just so incredible. Like
Yeah.
you are the blueprint. What a line to tell a woman. Like, wow. And he said it earnestly,
The men,
It
they can
wasn't
flip on a dime.
totally like, and Sincere is a bit like that too. Like I thought he was such a
You thought he
sincere,
was sincere?
gen yeah. And then like seeing how he was playing those girls was not good. But I
He
guess this is
really
the name
was.
of the
He really
he
was.
was like he was lying to Melanie's face,
Yeah.
saying, "No,
What do
I
you think
am
about Melanie?
done."
Because a lot of people are like equating her to like the no, new Huda, and I do not think she's anywhere near Huda level.
Yeah, see, I don't have the lore
Oh,
and
right,
the
that's
the
right.
the Huda. I mean, I know the name, but I like obviously wasn't watching before.
But
But
what do you think of Melanie, I guess, as
she's a
an
little bit
Islander?
like, I mean, she is like, it's the Melanie show, right? So she is, I think she's a bit emotionally manipulative and I think she's attention seeking. I like her on the show because like she brings like some,
Yeah.
you never quite know where she's going. Um, but it's like it's almost like a pouty little kid not getting her way sometimes. And
Yes.
So she has a tantrum and she's like crying and causing chaos and at the same time then behaving badly herself. So it's very toddler-like behavior. But I
Yeah,
saw
but they are
something
so
interesting.
young.
So young.
Like even
So young.
Kenzie, my God, like just the way they jump up and
Oh,
down and like get so giddy up just because they are
yes.
so young. They're so full of energy.
Yes. Totally. But and again, maybe I'm showing my age, but like I watch them all in their very sexual behavior and in like pieces of string. Like they're like we've seen
How
up
can you be
everybody's
comfortable?
ass
I don't
crack. Like
understand.
and in that all day long. Like they're just
Can't
in
you
a
wear sweatpants like when in the evening
yes.
or something?
Yes.
You
And I'm
always have
just
to be
like,
in a string bikini. Is that
why
the
are they?
dress code?
Yes. And like doing like running around and like bending over and
Ugh,
like, and then riding guys. And I'm just like, oh my God, don't you guys have
kill me.
parents and uncles and like
No, you know
brothers?
what?
I feel
Okay.
so
Okay.
uncomfortable.
So there ends up being like a parents' day or like a family day.
Oh,
And so they're watching all of this, okay?
oh
Because
my
like this is all
God.
playing in real time, right? So then your family comes, and I remember last season, the families come, everyone's in their bikinis, right? And their parents are holding their hands, being like, "So proud of you.
Oh,
You've been doing amazing. We've been watching, and we're so proud of you." And I'm like,
oh
"What are we
my
proud of?"
God.
But yeah, you're
Seriously.
literally like hanging out with your parents while you're sitting there in a string bikini and they've been watching you make out with all of these guys this entire time.
Oh my God. And it's not even
Why?
just making out. Like it is really like if we're in week one and they are riding each other the way that they are, like where does this go from here? Like we already have Zach and
Ada,
Hader, who by the way, like, oh my God, I am so blown away by how beautiful some of these girls are. And
right?
Kader is like, oh my
But
God,
you can
like
tell
a
she has like those model features.
she's
Like
a
she probably
mom.
is a model.
She has like a 90s, like
Yeah.
stunning stuff. Like I can't stop looking at her face. She's so beautiful. But they all are so beautiful. Like
Hmm.
really, it is like what a cast.
Right.
And the men are beautiful, like beautiful. I love all of the kind of like mixture of like cultures and ethnicities. They've all got these beautiful smiles. Like they're beautiful to look at, all of them, but not in that like typical, like usually on like a Married at First Sight and on like 90 Day, they look so fake. Like these people just all look, I mean, of
Well, because they're
course,
so
maybe there's
young.
a tweak here and there, but they look just so beautiful. But
Well,
yeah,
you know what
like,
I want to say about Kenzie, for example? I was recording with
yeah,
Tom Hamlin and we were talking about her because, like she's got like the big huge smile and everyone's like
yeah,
making fun of her and everything. And someone said on Threads, "No, you guys, it's not that her smile is that big. We're just not used to seeing faces move because we're used to only watching
yes,
Housewives. So that's probably what a regular
yes,
face looks like."
totally. But a beautiful
Right.
regular face, you
Yeah.
know? They're definitely not regular people. Like those, I've never seen any of those people at the beach. Have you ever seen people like that at the beach? They're like,
It's been a while since I've been to the beach, but yeah, I get you. I get where you're going with it.
yeah. And I like, so I think, the sex part is going to heat up, but like if it was my son on that show and like he was basically participating in softcore orgies like that, I would just be like, what the fuck? Like I don't know if I'd be in there going like, I'm so proud of you. The way you really like, gave your dick to so many girls. Oh, just such a
But you know
generous
what?
lover.
They come out with millions of followers and like
Yeah.
a whole new career. And, you
Yeah.
know, it
Have
starts
you
with just
seen
a little
the
making out. Mhm.
I mean, have you seen though the latest eviction? You know who left? I don't want to
Fiction.
spoil it.
Was it
Dumped
in the last
who?
half hour of the last episode? Because the last
No.
person that left that I was watching was Bea.
Yeah, Bayer. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That
that was really
broke
sad.
my
And I was really
heart.
surprised because she was part of the main cast. But that was an interesting
Yeah.
one because that's America voting. Oh, it's funny because I was recording with my friend Monty the other day and she goes, "Who did you vote for?" I'm like, "So I can't actually vote because I'm Canadian," right? So she's like, she was so put off by that. She's like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "I just get to watch like a spectator, right? And I guess you too.
Yes.
So we're just like
Yes.
watching along.
Dragged
But
along.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
vote, unfortunately.
No. So is this how it goes? Because I don't even know. Like, is this is the format the same as it normally is? So does it kind of go like this and America decides like who couples up every time and who then
Okay, so
essentially
this is my
leaves?
third season watching. To be honest, I don't remember all the rules all the time. I don't know if it changes for this round. I guess, yeah, America was choosing, but I don't think it's for every time or every week, but I'm
Okay.
honestly not quite sure. But yeah, I was
Okay.
surprised about that. And I was surprised about them saying about America thinking that Gabriel should be with Jen because I thought that America's consensus on Jen was like she's like the Levi of Love
Yes.
Island, right?
Brings
Basically, like, is she
nothing.
even there? Can anyone see her? So I'm
Yes.
surprised that people would pick her over Bea because she had a great relationship with Gabriel, so that
Oh,
was quite surprising. But Kenzie and new white cowboy, forget his name,
yes.
something with a C, Carter,
Caleb.
Corbin, Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her guy, right? That's her type. That is
Yeah.
her type.
That is her type. But I think that is really Sierra said something in After Sun. Was it was it Sierra who said it? Or somebody else said something about like the race part of the conversation is really interesting because we're seeing, mashups everywhere. Like it's not like uh and what Sierra was saying, like it's kind of like what she experiences being on reality TV and dating white guys and the race element is really interesting there. And when somebody comes in, that's what they're used to. Do people go back to what they're used to? And, that's kind of like the unspoken thing with the Kenzie Caleb thing. It's like it was maybe unexpected for some viewers that she and Corbin, were on fire the way that they were and it quote unquote made sense for her to be with Caleb. And what is that about? Is it just because they're two blonde, white, southern people? Like why can't her type be Corbin and that they're more perfect for each other?
Yeah.
But it does as an audience, that's what everybody's saying. That's what America's voting for. So I think that's a really interesting undercurrent.
But I wonder if in that case, I mean, she was saying it herself, right? She was like, oh, that's my type. That's my type. So I wonder if America was just giving her what she wanted. Plus,
Yeah.
Corbin, like, is being like a kissing bandit. You're just walking around
Mm.
trying to kiss everybody. And so maybe they were just like really liking Kenzie and they wanted to give her a chance with not necessarily not like just not Corbin, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only
Yeah.
just because like I don't see him as genuine. I'm sorry. Like that guy is just kissing everybody. And I like that
Yeah.
the girls are telling him no. I really am enjoying
Yeah.
that. Like, because they're just
Well, that
like,
was
we
really,
just started talking a
yeah.
second ago. Like,
Yeah. But
no, you
meanwhile,
cannot kiss
everyone
me.
else
And you
is
have kissed
making
me
it.
before. You know what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. But to be fair, like that was his kind of like entry point, wasn't it? Just like, hey, can I get a
So that's
reminder
his
of that
thing.
kiss? Can I get a reminder? But then he did seem to kind of settle on Kenzie until the Melanie
Yeah, until Melanie just
moment.
showed an interest for a second, just had a conversation. Then he's
Yeah.
like, can I kiss you?
Good point.
Why?
Good
You were
point.
fully, I don't want to say fully committed to Kenzie, but like you're in a
Yeah.
coupling with Kenzie, right? To the point where even Melanie
Yes.
said no, right? She was just like, I was just coming here
Yes.
to chat, man. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't like that. Neither did she, right? Like she even kind of was
Yeah.
turned off by it. She did end up like kind of figuring things out with him, but she did end up saying, I'm gonna stay open. I bet if he was like fully committed to her, like it could have changed things, right?
Yeah.
Who
And
knows?
it's
But yeah.
it's in the benefit to stay in a couple, right? Again, I'm learning
Mhm.
as I go here, but like obviously if you're not in a couple, you are potentially up for elimination, you know?
But if you're too solid of a couple, you could be kicked out too
Oh,
because I'm trying to remember why.
you're
I
not
don't know. People don't want you
exploring
to couple
enough.
up too early either. I don't remember all the rules.
Mm.
Ariana will tell us as we go.
Okay. Yeah, look,
That's
I thought
fair.
Ariana, again, this is my first experience of watching her as a host. I think she's really strong. I think
Mhm.
it's great. Um, and then after Sun, Sierra
Yes, I
just
didn't get to
like,
watch it. How was it?
oh, she really amazed me. I
Yeah.
have never seen her so alive, so energized, so full of personality. Like, I don't know
Nice.
if Summer House dulled her to a point where, and everything that was going on with West for the last 2 years, and prior to that, it was Austin,
Right.
and like she was, but before that, like, honestly, she was so beautiful always, but in my mind, didn't really bring much. She was just like a bed bug and like depressed and like bit like Amanda, like nothing really going on.
Yeah.
And just like kind of sad and miserable all the time. And I felt bad that she was going through those things, but like it didn't bring much. This show, oh my God, Dana, she is like electric. She is not holding back. She's completely natural. It's like a fan. It would be like if you and I, it's like this kind of energy where we're like so excited to talk about
Yeah.
it. She's got interesting points. She's like on fire. She's like, you know, doing all the right producer moments, like to the camera and this and that, but
Yeah.
she's talking
So it's like
in
meant
so
for
like
her.
oh, she's such a vibe. I've never like
Interesting.
I'm like, who is this person? It is not. I
Yeah.
can't wait for you to see it. It is
Nice.
not the Sierra we have ever seen before, and I'm just like, yay, so happy for her.
Maybe she found her calling.
Yeah, because if you had said to me a year ago, oh, what about Sierra doing some hosting and live hosting stuff? I'd be like, are you serious?
No, I agree.
Like, really?
Which is nothing
Her?
like against her, right? Like I think she's a great
Yeah,
model and like definitely like great
beautiful.
on Summer House and stuff. But when I think of her as somebody who's like really like bubbly and outgoing, like talking
Yeah,
to people, not necessarily, but yeah, like even in the little clips that I've seen, I'm like, wow, this really feels like this is very natural for her, which is great.
yeah, yeah. Yep,
And
killing
same with
it.
Ariana, right? Like she loves hosting too, and maybe she found her. Maybe all of
Yeah.
these bad things have led not just to these opportunities, but to the right opportunity, to the thing that you were meant
Yeah.
to do, which
Yes.
happens to both be for both of these women on Love Island.
But you know what's interesting? Both of them, like Ariana was not really a dynamic and, you know, exciting person on her show either.
That's a good point.
And, you know, does like I would never have said like I would have okay, Stacy Schroeder, of course you could see her hosting something, you know, like Kristen, you could have potentially seen her hosting something. These were like big dynamic personalities with
Right.
energy. And Ariana never really had energy, and Sierra now never really had energy. Then they got fucked over by these guys, and they've come alive.
Yeah.
And you know that also makes me sad because were they always these bubbly, amazing, electric people that just got dulled by these men and these relationships that they found themselves in? And if
Yeah.
that's the case, that's really sad.
Well, I definitely think so for Ariana, and I wonder for Sierra. I definitely feel like we saw a more bubbly side of, not bubbly. We saw more personality from her this season on Summer House. And I
Mm,
think that was due to her Prozac and finally getting on the right, medication. And that probably still going through this horrible situation with Wes definitely dulled her shine. But I think she
yeah,
was already really starting to come out of her shell in that last season of Summer House. Like we got to know so much more about her than we ever did.
yeah,
We saw her dance, we saw her smile, we saw her like have a good time, which, yeah,
yeah,
historically we didn't necessarily see. So, yeah, maybe this was just the beginning of what led her to like, yeah, where she's
yeah.
meant to be. So that's great for her.
Yeah.
I'm
And you
definitely
know
gonna check it
what?
out.
Like, and to be fair, like I think Paige, you know, not being on the show this year made a big difference. I think
Right,
she obviously was like the star girl. I mean, her and Lindsay were like the main players, and Paige
right.
was the, even though she never got out of bed, was the personality and the funny one in the, you know, interviews and stuff like that. And maybe everyone was just kind of in her shadow a little bit. So her out of the way has meant, yes, the Prozac is working, but also, you know, there's space to fill. And she did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome. Well, Yana, I gotta go to bed soon, and you've got to start your day, which I love for us. So why don't you tell
Yes.
everyone where they can find you, and then I will do the same.
Amazing. You can find me at Jana.Firestone on Instagram. That's Jana dot Firestone. And I am on YouTube at the Pop Therapy Podcast on all your podcasting platforms. It's Pop Therapy. And you can catch me on the website at janafirestone.com.
Awesome. And I am Dana Regan, and you can find me on all platforms at the Bravo Investigator. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can watch this episode. You can also watch it on Yana's YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Facebook, and we will see you guys next week for the reunion. Bye, girl.
Can't wait. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Pop Therapy with Jana Firestone.
And the Bravo Investigator podcast with Dana Regan.
Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at the Bravo Investigator, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
And you can find me at Jana Firestone. That's JANA Firestone on Instagram, and the Pop Therapy podcast on YouTube, TikTok, all the things.
You can see us collaborating every single week.
Come and listen, join the party, and don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review if you've enjoyed this episode. And join the conversation online. We would love to hear your thoughts.